Hey, everybody. We know it's been a while, but we are back right now. We formally AOTP with Corey and Sean. As you can see, Sean isn't here. He'll be here from time to time when his schedule and his real life allows it.
When his Hitler Youth rallies are
when he doesn't have anything important like that to get to. So we are no longer AOTP. We are now overzealous and undermotivated.
Yay!
That's our new show name. Burn it into your mind.
Yes.
And we'll still be basically discussing anything that makes us laugh. And like today, we will be getting into politics because right now that's a hot button issue. And we'd like to think we're going to keep it a little more up to date when we do our shows now, the way we're recording. As you can see, we have a new studio, got a new setup. He has a lot of stuff on his desk where...
You disgust me. You disgust everyone.
Oh, that's his...
That's my trophy. That's what that is.
That's his most important accomplishment ever in life. You want to explain that? Just so everybody knows?
Anybody who watches the video, I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory.
He got a hole-in-one in a game of putt-putt.
Right.
A while back.
No, I got the first hole-in-one. Okay, let's be clear.
Okay. So you got the first hole-in-one chronologically in a game of putt-putt. Therefore, that gives you free reign to do whatever you want to whomever you want because you have a trophy that says so.
It's not my first rodeo.
Actually, it was your first. That's why you got a trophy.
And finally, people are recognizing, my skills.
Yeah, but hey, we're happy to be back after a long time off. We've had a lot of stuff going on, but here we are again. And honestly, the hot button right now is the murder of Charlie Kirk and the subsequent political issues that have followed it. I mean, obviously, we're a right-wing show, and more so even now after this, because, I mean, look how all of the hardcore leftists are acting over this. They're celebrating the murder of a father of two and two little babies.
Yeah, like the one's 3 or 4,
and the other's a year old, something like that.
And if anybody who's actually familiar with the show knows that I voted for Trump, but I never was really like a Trump supporter.
He wasn't a Trump guy. Where I've made it clear from day one, I'm a Trump guy through and through.
Yeah, but after watching the behavior. Like, I'm whole hog, full on Trump train now because I don't want to ever be associated with those people. Like, the ones celebrating and trashing his memorials and it was absolutely disgusting because we've talked about it before. I despise Joe Biden and Obama, or Harry Sisson and Hassan Piker and Cenk Uygur or whatever. I despise those people. That being said, I don't think they deserve to be executed in front of their families. That's a big differentiation between us and them, I think.
I think, that is a very big difference between them and the way we as right-wingers feel, because it seems like the whole thing about us and them is you're allowed to disagree with us. We don't care.
Yeah,
it's like your point of view doesn't have any bearing on my day. But if you ask any of them, they expect every single human being to believe as they do, and if you don't believe as they do, you're wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that was something that even Bill Maher, who is, as left gets.
But he's also a lefty.
He's classic.
He's a classic sense. He's a lefty in the classic sense. He's your Andy Griffith Democrat that would believe the way the Kennedys.
Yeah, like JFK. If JFK were alive right now, he would be a Republican.
Yeah.
I mean,
not to say that Bill Maher would be a Republican.
No.
But he is a Democrat in the more classic sense, where he just...
Yeah, he's not a progressive, hardcore, trans rights bullshit.
And he also understands the importance of being fairly moderate on a lot of issues where...
Well, I think he represents most of America. I think most of America, even from left or right, even most Democrats in America, they're more centrist. I think everybody's centrist.
That's it. They want somebody who rides the middle on most issues. Like, most voters nowadays want somebody, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they want somebody that kind of rides the middle, because they don't like both. Here's the thing: if the Democrats would actually put out a policy that I agreed with, I'd be fine with admitting that and going along with it.
Yeah.
But since their whole fucking agenda now is Trump bad, they don't put out policies. That fucking idiot Jasmine Crockett actually, in an interview a while back, she actually said, "I'm not really into policies. I haven't put anything out. I'm just concerned with fighting Trump."
Gay!
It's like, what fucking good is going to come out of you just targeting your entire goddamn existence over fighting the current administration? You're not going to get them out. You might as well just fucking work with them. I don't care how much you fucking hate him and his Trump derangement bullshit.
Yeah, I mean that's most of what it is. I mean that's why Charlie Kirk, because he supported Trump.
Yeah,
and that's it. I mean, and he had beliefs that these psychotic people didn't like, but my original point with Bill Maher was, even he admitted on his show when he was talking to Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, he said, Charlie was a nice guy, and at least conservatives will talk to you.
He said he was kind. He was a nice guy.
Said he was a kind, nice man, like he's a family man. And even he said, Charlie had his beliefs, and he didn't mind debating them. He didn't mind people coming up and screaming at him.
He welcomed that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that, I've seen so much of it is, he let literally any raving, lunatic off the street, he would put a mic in front of him, say, hey,
He said, if you disagree with me, get in the front of the line.
Yeah, and tell me what, why.
It's like that's what these idiots don't understand, that talk about how hateful he was and all that shit. Do you understand? He was willing to hear you out.
Yeah. And
him being murdered for that is going to make everybody more like me. I'm not willing to hear people out anymore. I used to be willing to hear their point of view, but all their point of view is they love to tell me how I'm fucking wrong. Well, I don't think you're wrong for believing the way you do, so I'm going to say that I'm allowed to believe how the fuck I believe too. I don't care anymore. It's going to be where everybody's going to get like me, and they're not willing to talk with these idiot fuckers, because that's the shit they get.
That's what Charlie Kirk said. He said the second the conversation stops, that's when you get violence.
Yeah.
And it is true, because now they're seeing that, if you try and talk to anybody, they're just going to kill you. So nobody's going to want to talk anymore.
Well, that's it. Even when you are talking to them, you're still going to have some random asshole who takes his own interpretation of what you said and say, "Oh, it's hate, and that kind of hate you can't negotiate with. You have to shoot them." That's fucking stupid.
Well, it's just like what I said before, is Democrats, leftists, not Democrats, but hard leftists, the ones that are celebrating his death, these types of people, they have to hate you. They have to think of you as a fascist dictator, jackbooted Nazi that's stomping skulls, and they have to think of you that way, because like I think we talked about it before, but if Adolf Hitler popped in this studio right now and started telling you his opinions on things, would you listen to him? No. I wouldn't. You wouldn't listen. You wouldn't give a shit what he said, because he's an awful person.
You know who probably would hear him out to begin with?
Charlie
Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, yeah. He would have. He'd at least listen to him. He would have explained to him why he's wrong.
That's absolutely it. But he would talk to people because he not only did he want them to get a better understanding of where he's coming from, he liked getting a better understanding of where they came from.
Yeah.
It's like they don't understand how good a person that it is and how patient a person that takes.
Yeah,
to do that. He had infinite patience.
He had the patience of a saint. And the thing is if you talk to the people who are celebrating his death and calling him, well, he was a Nazi fascist and this and that, you can tell very clearly they'd never listened to a word he's ever said.
No.
All they did is they went on TikTok or they went on Facebook or whatever, and they saw some third-party asshole.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Say, well, he's engaging in hate speech, but they never actually listened to him themselves.
Well, they would take one fucking line he had and they would completely take it out of context, just put like his stance on the black pilots. Yeah. Where he said, due to DEI practices, where they are not going to take the most qualified, they will just, and they base their hiring on black people.
Skin color.
He said that if he were walking in a plane and he saw a black pilot, he would have to question whether it was a DEI hire or this person was hired on their merits of being the best pilot possible.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because if you go in and say, you have to get a tumor removed from your brain, the person you would want the best person, the person who...
I don't give a fuck what color their skin is.
Yeah, you wouldn't care, but if you go in and you have a black doctor, you're going to sit here and go, was this guy hired into this hospital because they had to fill quotas, or is he actually good at it? And it's taking your life in your hands.
That's and you know what? That's very reasonable to question.
That's absolutely. It's just like, because you want the best person for the job. You don't want somebody who's going to do a half-assed job and end up, fucking your brain up, and all of a sudden you don't know maths no more.
I don't give a shit what their ethnic ratios are, as long as they're hiring the best people for the job.
Yeah, and it's just like the American History X. They pushed the father as like, well, this is where they first learned racism, but then he was sitting there saying, reasonable things, like saying that it should be the best man for the job. You shouldn't get it based on skin color. And sorry to tell you, lefties, but Martin Luther King Jr. absolutely despised affirmative action and did not want it at all.
He wanted the entire black race to get all he wanted was an equal shot, and I mean, let's be real, they get more benefits thrown at them than what we do.
Well, hell yeah, all Martin Luther King Jr. wanted was for black people to just a fair shake, fair trials, fair opportunities, like just fair, equal. But then you have...
He didn't want everything handed to them.
No, that was literally... And he said in his speeches, he did not want things, because when you hand things to people, it makes them lazy. It makes them dependent upon you. He wanted them to work for it, but all he wanted was the opportunity.
Yeah,
opportunities to prove yourself, and and that's what affirmative action is just basically them saying, we know that you're not capable of achieving at the same level that we are, so we're just going to lower.
But who says that? Like the leftist Democrats.
Oh yeah, I mean it's you see it with
like me when in California when they'll say they don't want voter ID because it's racist. I'm like, how is that racist? I think every one of them is perfectly capable of going and getting a fucking card, and then they'll say shit like, "Well, these idiots can't. They're not smart enough to get out there."
That was Sean. Sean saw that.
Another Sean, yeah, another Sean, not the Sean from the show.
Yeah, another friend of mine. He was at a town hall meeting, and he was sitting beside this blue-eyed, blonde-haired, white leftist couple, and every time anybody spoke, they were jumping up and screaming racism, fascism, sexism, all this stuff. And it was just, they were so passionate about it and this and that. And so Sean looks over and he says, sir, and the town hall meeting was about voter ID, about whether or not San Jose was going to implement it. And so he asked the guy, he said, why is voter ID racist? He said, because you need ID to buy liquor, to buy cigarettes, to get a plane ticket, to rent a car. Basically to function, you need an ID. And the guy looked straight at Sean with a straight face and said, "Do you think these dumb ends know how to go to the DMV and get an ID?" And he was so dumbfounded that he had no idea what to even rebut. How do you rebut that?
Well, yeah, which is where we're from, West Virginia, and we're the rednecks.
Yeah.
But I think every single black person I've ever met would be perfectly capable of going to the DMV and getting any kind of ID, probably any kind of paperwork you'd ever get done. You
can get a ride from a friend, you can take a bus, and the thing is when you look at the opportunities of people, black people have many more opportunities than, like, say, where we live. Like, if we didn't have a car, we couldn't survive.
Nope.
Like, because we live out in the middle of nowhere, and buses don't come through here. Taxi, you can't call a taxi. But black people, predominantly are urban. They live in more major cities, and there's public transportation, there's subways, there's taxis that, get a ride from a friend, anything. Like, I would say, when it comes to voter ID, it would actually harm us more than somebody, who lives in a major city, because with us, again, you're going to have way less opportunities to get to a DMV if you don't have a car, or, because you can't call taxis out here.
Nope.
Like, there's nothing out here. So you either walk, ride a bike, or drive a car, and that's it.
Yep. You said one word also that reminded me, and this is just basically going back to the Charlie Kirk response from the lefties.
Sure.
And that is that these dumbasses are acting like the the firing of Jimmy Kimmel losing his show.
Yeah.
They're acting like that is a side-by-side equivalent to Charlie Kirk getting murdered.
Because that's the thing, too, about Jimmy Kimmel. I do not believe for 1 minute that network gave a shit about what he said about Charlie Kirk. I think
they saw it as an opportunity to get rid of him because he's losing them so much fucking money.
Because that's exactly it. Because, like, Charlie Kirk was just the excuse they gave. But I think they've been wanting to get rid of him for a while, and they couldn't find it, couldn't figure it out, because he probably had a contract, something like that. And so finally they see this and they say, hey, like, it was just their excuse. I mean, again, I don't have a problem with it because I think Jimmy Kimmel's disgusting.
I think he's a fucking piece of shit, and he should have turned his man card in when he started crying over the fucking election.
Head to cuck.com and go cuck yourself today.
That was you.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna know it.
And I love it.
Like, fuck you, you pussy.
Well, my favorite thing is the fact that, he's saying that this is an infringement on his free speech. And
How about no?
no, I'm sorry, buddy.
Your job is not protected by free speech.
Yes, you work for a network. And that network, if they feel that you are portraying them and their ideals in a negative light, they have every right to get rid of you.
Yeah, you're a representative. And actually, what's funny is everybody's blaming Trump and the FCC when it was really Nexstar and Sinclair, two of the subsidiary groups that have, like, they have, I think I saw somewhere where they have like 54 markets.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, where I don't know how numbers on TV like that work. 54 markets seems like a lot of real estate to where you want your product to get out to. And when they say, we're not going to fucking put you on as long as he's there, ABC, they had to move. But again, I think they were happy to do it because he was losing them so much fucking money because this is a guy who's paid to be funny. And he wasn't funny.
No, everything was just Trump. Trump bad.
Trump's bad.
Orange man bad. Orange man bad.
But the whole thing, he made it so easy on him because it's not like his line that got him canned. It wasn't an outright attack on Charlie Kirk.
But it was
it was an outright fucking lie, and
Yeah.
he knew when he said it that it was a lie.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire. Squirming, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start turning.
yeah, but he don't care.
Like, oh, the MAGA crowd was trying to convince people that the killer wasn't one of them. It's already been proven conclusively by everybody that's spoken on the matter, from the governor down to his parents.
Yeah, I mean,
That he was a hardcore lefty, and as I said, the word fascist. How many fucking Republicans, and especially MAGA Republicans, have you ever heard call anybody a fucking fascist? And he carved it into the fucking bullet.
conservatives don't call other conservatives fascists. I'm sorry to
They don't
tell
call
you.
anybody fascist.
Yeah, that's strictly a left leaning, and not to mention the fact that he also had trans and furry memes etched into his bullets. And also he had a trans boyfriend.
It's like, I guess the original thought on that was that, yes, he did grow up in a very conservative family.
Sure.
But even that very conservative family said he had turned far left long ago.
Well, I mean, we grew up in a hard red family predominantly.
Yep.
And we still have cousins. They're lefties. That doesn't
We do?
That doesn't mean anything.
Which ones? I don't know. I don't talk to any of them, so I don't
Yeah,
care.
you do. You talk to them.
I do?
Yeah.
Which one? Huh? No. I'm gonna give her a pass because she's not as hardcore as you would think.
no, they're not hardcore, but they are, and then plus
She used to be, and then Biden ruined her.
well, yeah, but then
That's a shout out to my very favorite cousin of ours. You know who you are.
is she watching?
She subscribed.
Nice.
Whether she watches, I don't know, but she was, but she's softened on that big time. She's not.
Well, yeah, and I know I'm sure she softened because Biden kind of ruined it for a lot of people, but
Biden ruined it for so many people because
But,
he just was so monumentally bad.
the fact is, this guy's family being conservative does not mean he is.
No, far from it.
And the picture that they were floating around of him in a MAGA or in a Trump shirt that was
fucking fake.
It was photoshopped, it badly, I might add.
Yeah, it was. It didn't even. It looked like they put a fucking Trump T-shirt sticker.
Yeah.
On it.
But
And also, they were. They said one of them was talking about the Halloween costume from, I think it was 2017 that the kid had.
yeah,
on.
he was riding.
He
Trump's
was
shoulders.
riding Trump. How in the fuck is that a pro-Trump message?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally he's belittling Trump by saying, "Well, he's this little guy and I'm riding him." Like, he's not mimicking Trump. He's not.
Anyone with a shred of common sense would have seen through this fucker's belief system very quickly.
Yeah, and the fact is, they had such a great opportunity. Like, after it happened, Democrats, leaders, and talking heads, they could have come out and they could have said,
I'm a piece of shit.
"Look, we messed up. We know this." Like, if they had just come out and said, "We're sorry. We know we got heated," and some of this rhetoric that we've been barking.
Just admitting that they have taken it entirely too far.
Yeah, and they could have said, "We need to reevaluate our message and our morals." They could have just very easily and in a completely respectful, without losing any of their dignity or their arguments that they have, or compromising their beliefs. They could have very easily just come out and said, "This is a tragedy. We condemn it wholeheartedly, and we need to look inward and see what we could have done to avoid this."
How about not a side-by-side comparison of Hitler and fascism and Nazis
yeah,
to
exactly.
Trump and MAGA? Because Trump is not a fucking... their new talking point that Chuck Schumer was using the other day was autocracy.
Yeah, and the thing is just like with racism, if he's a dictator, he's the world's worst dictator.
Well, that's
not-
the whole thing. It's
yeah.
like they're talking about... this is what I love. They're talking about how, according to them, he got rid of Jimmy Kimmel
Yeah, he did.
because he wanted him off TV because he criticizes Trump so vehemently.
Sure.
If this were a true dictatorship and he really felt so strongly about the way Kimmel was criticizing him, what would happen to Kimmel?
He would be dead in a ditch.
Yeah.
Because
he would die in a fucking house fire. He would do. That's the way the fucking Democrats work. Or not Democrats. I'm sorry. Well, I don't know. Some of them probably. They disappear you. They make you to where you can no longer criticize them.
Kim Jong-un used anti-aircraft weapons on his own uncle, who was criticizing him.
He threw the one guy to a bunch of fucking dogs.
Yes, like he used anti-aircraft.
I meant dictators
guns.
when I said Democrats earlier, but yeah, you know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
Call them what you want.
I mean, but you know, if Trump was a real dictator, you would have been rounded up and liquidated.
Yeah.
For speaking out against it.
And they don't see that.
And it's just like Biden. Biden wasn't a dictator. Obama wasn't a dictator. Like, you know, that's the difference is I can be fair. Like, there's things about Trump I don't like. There's, you know, and the thing is I'll even go you one better. On January 6th, there were idiots. Absolutely. There were idiots who went out there and acted like idiots.
You're right, but the fuckers who say that it was a full blown insurrection,
well, that's
are also
ridiculous.
idiots.
They are absolutely, but you know, if I'm going to concede that point, there were idiots. Now, do I believe that any congressman or any person of any authority, do I believe they're in danger? No.
No, they weren't.
They were going around, running around, acting stupid. They weren't. Nobody shot anybody because, believe me, with conservatives, if we wanted to be a problem, we'd be a fucking problem.
Well, okay, let's toss out January 6th right now. How many people died?
One.
And they can't say that those fucking security guards later on with health issues died as a result of this, because those security guards, all their families have come out and said, no, that's not true. He had an underlying heart condition or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Who died in the January 6th? I don't really know what to call it. I'll say they invaded the Capitol building.
Sure.
To say it was an insurrection where they were trying to overthrow the government? No, it wasn't at all.
I've never seen an unarmed insurrection.
Yeah. An insurrection without guns is not an insurrection. I hate to tell you.
And after the police told them to leave, they left. Like, they went out. Yeah, they were being stupid for a while, and then they just kind of left after they lost interest.
They got tired. You know what I believe they were after, and they got exactly what they were after: funny pictures. Mm-hmm. They got funny visuals. That one goofy fucker with the horns, standing in the I don't remember. Was it Pelosi's desk?
Yeah,
or whatever.
I forget which one it was.
Whichever it was.
They were looking for selfies to entertain people.
That's it. That's all they were. They were fucking morons.
Yeah, they were just idiots.
Who were let in the Capitol, were let in by Pelosi to say that's not, or say that's just, that's right-wing violence. Well, I mean, what'd you get out of your right-wing violence? You had to buy a podium and a window. And you had to explain why the fucking Capitol police officer shot the
Ashley
person.
Babbitt.
Yeah, Ashley Babbitt. But lefties and righties are not the same at all. I mean, we have
Summer of Love.
Summer of Love, and that was after what caused the Summer of Love? A fucking guy dying of a drug overdose in police custody.
No, well, see that too. I'll be completely fair. Chauvin, I believe, deserved some type of punishment, because going for a guy who is screaming that he can't breathe and then going 11 minutes without checking on him, I think's pretty neglectful, and I think he probably should have been fired.
And realistically, visually, which is what got him.
Yeah, that's what. And I'm the first one to admit, when I saw the video without any context, I was like, holy shit, that cop's an asshole, you know. And
Now, was this the whole video of what led up to that, or just that?
no. If you remember, the first thing that
They
came
didn't,
out,
because they didn't show the whole thing of him fighting him in the cop car.
No.
And
No.
the half, dissolved fentanyl pills in the fucking floorboard.
and they put I saw that later. But if you remember, what initially came out was like 1 or 2 minutes of Chauvin kneeling on his back.
Yep.
That's the first video that came out. It had no context behind
Conveniently,
it.
yes.
There was nothing else to it. It was just, here's this video. This guy's laying on the ground. This cop's knees on him. He can't breathe. He died. That's all they did. And everybody's visceral reaction initially was, holy shit, that cop's an asshole.
Like, nobody thought he was right.
No. I mean, nobody did. That was the thing, is when it first started, everybody was together on it.
Yeah.
Like left, right,
But then
everybody.
the more that came out,
Yeah, as it started, more information started trickling out. That's when your sides were established.
well, the sides, the righties kind of latched onto was like, wait a minute here, that's not so cut and dry. Where
Yeah.
the lefties just doubled down on, he murdered him. It's
Oh,
like,
he's just his racism, and
like-
he murdered him. He was hunting him.
did he murder him? No. Did he murder him for racial reasons? Hell no. Did he hold him down there because he was resisting a fucking arrest because he was high on goddamn fentanyl? Yes.
And again, to be fair, he probably was fighting the cops because his lungs were shutting down, because that's what painkillers and fentanyl does.
Yep.
It
He was
relaxes.
screaming, I can't breathe, fully upright in the back of that cop car.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me it's like, he sat down there and the fucking knee is what suffocated him.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what I mean is, to be fair, again, he probably couldn't breathe, so that's why he was fighting the cops. But at the same time, nobody made him stuff himself full of fentanyl.
And they had, and what was in response to that? Billions of dollars worth of property damaged.
$3 billion in property damage. 3 dozen people, including David Dorn, who was a black police officer working security, who was executed in the streets. 3 dozen people were murdered in the BLM riots.
And how many riots and people killed and property damage? What's the total number in the Charlie Kirk response?
0.
Yeah, they have riots. We have prayer vigils.
Yes.
And somehow they put us on some sort of even playing field. They have already protested, and an ABC affiliate in, I believe, Seattle, the building was shot because people, the Kimmel fucking crowd.
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along?
I mean, ultimately, that's what we're pissed off about right now. The left can't come up with anything other than Trump bad.
And
They won't fucking introduce a policy. Their whole message is Trump bad, period.
Orange Man bite.
Orange man bad.
But
And yeah, that's all. That's what we got. I mean, we're so far from the utopian society that would have followed a Bernie win, as I recall. Maybe that'll happen, make them happy. Yeah, that's the way I feel. Every time I heard how Bernie would produce a utopian society because he'd give us free health care and education.
Cuba's literacy program. They could read. Now, they couldn't eat, but they could read the ingredients in the empty boxes where their food would have been.
Hold on, let's do an impression of the Cuban education. Tell me, how many little pigs are there? How many little pigs?
Well, but bread lines are a good thing. That means there's food.
Actually, that means exactly opposite. That nobody has food, and the government has to give out loaves of fucking bread.
But people can read things while they wait in line 5 hours to get 1 loaf of bread and ration cards.
Yeah, they can read the dietary ingredients of a bread label that blows away or by them while they're waiting in line to eat.
And they can take their money and put it in the middle of the street and make a bonfire, because that's how good it is with all the hyperinflation.
They can't have bonfires because they'll all be in cardboard shacks next to that bonfire.
But that's
But we're in utopian society.
that's what socialism, democratic, and I'm sorry, democratic socialism or regular socialism or any other kind of socialism
Doesn't fucking work.
is always done at the end of a rifle. Every time.
Every fucking time.
Socialism, just like democracy, is 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
This machine just called me an asshole.
Oh, well, you know what? I think we have reached an end, hopefully, for this one.
Yeah.
We can always discuss this more, but we are glad to finally be back recording.
Yep.
Sean will be with us every once in a while when we
Maybe.
can make it in. Maybe whenever he can make it in.
Well, he damn sure
'Cause
ain't
God
running
knows-
on episodes.
Well, God knows when he shows up, I'm going to fire him anyway.
Yeah.
But, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.